Fabulous Tales and Fables ASAP by Owen T Duggan. Story 5. Good Landlord, Bad Tenants. The fourth to last part. An emissary arrived, without notice, but with barrels of various size, with apologies as well. The message that the emissary brought was that the landlord was sorry he was not able to check in sooner, but he was very busy, and he hoped everything was going splendidly, and that there was no trouble with dangerous raiders or with enchanters. The emissary, an educated man who could read and write, had as his primary task the taking of vivid notes on the condition of everything and the writing of recommendations for the final completion and beautification of the vineyard project. He felt himself today, as often, to be jovial, strong, and confident, and witty. Such was his confidence that he had declined the company of armed escorts. He said he could take care of himself. Such was his brilliance that he knew the password without having to write it down. Imagine that.
"Hello! Yoo-hoo!"
said the emissary of the landlord.
"Fine wine takes time, it does. I say, fine wine takes time. I'm here to drop off the barrels. I've got all kinds. Big, small, new, old. Fine wine, it takes time, and you're taking up my time. Leaving me standing here, twiddling me fingers. Let's go."
He patted some barrels like they were musical drums. The mule that carried them protested with a rude snort.
"Password is changed,"
said a rough voice from somewhere above the heavy door. The emissary took a big step back, bumping into his mule's haunch, causing it to become foul-tempered and noisy.
"No,"
said the educated man, laughing.
"That's a bit mental, isn't it? The password is not changed, which means it's still the same, yeah? So, now's where you open up, please."
He pushed at the door with his soft, plump arms. He banged on it, to no avail, which means it did no good.
Leave them,"
said the commanding voice.
"Leave them there. Then ye may go. We'll bring 'em in ourselves."
It was the leader of the tenants. He showed his face at the watcher's window above. What he didn't show were what one might surmise were disfigured arms and a twitching hunchback covered by loose clothing, though in fact these bodily features were lion arms and lion tail.
"No, that's mental. The barrels get unloaded in there, not out here. That's how it's done. Which means, don't make me lose my temper."
The emissary had 2 mules, one fully loaded with barrels, and the other, the one he rode, only partly loaded.
"The barrels?"
said the lion man.
"No. You keep the barrels. I'm talking about the mules. As I say, leave the mules there. Then you may go, and we'll bring the mules in ourselves. You can keep the barrels."
The emissary, being a man of letters, took out a board with some leaves of paper and began frantically to write.
"What are you doing down there?"
growled the lion man.
"You're making me impatient."
"You idiot! First, I'm noting the vines I saw, overgrowing the wall. They're not trimmed and trained within, which means they're supposed to be maintained. It's a blatant lapse with which the landlord will not be pleased, yeah? Furthermore,"
said the emissary, glaring up at the watcher,
"the Lord will fire you and evict you if you don't let me in straight away. You got that, you idiot?"
and he slapped his writing board onto a barrel and started banging on the door to make his point. To no avail, which means it did no good. When he tired, there followed a minute during which the mules made nervous sounds. The fully loaded one stepped himself about to face the way back towards the city. He pooped.
Fine,
said the lead tenant.
have it your way. No hard feelings, nothing personal. A few vines may have overgrown. We'll take care of them straight away. We'll take care of everything immediately. I'll let you in presently. But first, you're a good writer, you are. Do compose a sign for me. You're so good at writing. Compose a sign. Only then will we let you in.
The emissary, empty of patience, nevertheless went along with the annoying request just this once, and composed a simple sign as directed by the unfriendly tenant, who was probably going to be evicted if the emissary had anything to say about it. The sign was silly, idiotic, mental. He read it out when done, with a snide, disapproving tone.
Welcome, travellers. We are glad to have you here for dinner. Come right in. Bring your mules. We'll look after them too. Idiot.
I like it,
said the Lion Man.
I love it, in fact. Nice ring to it. It rings like a dinner bell.
I hate it. It's mental,
said the man of letters and good writing.
The landlord has not approved this place for use as some kind of traveller's lodge or whatever.
The heavy door creaked open. The mules flatly refused to enter. The human refused to enter. They, meaning the mules as well as the emissary, were taken care of straight away, all right. They were had for dinner. The wolves, who were stuck most of the time in the form of humans, due to an enchantment cast upon them, spent the evening jovially calling out,
Fow-wow-dow-dow! Fow-wow-dow-dow! Fow-wow-dow-dow!
which was their way of saying, fine wine takes time. Another week passed at the darkening vineyard.